Hello, in the first phase of this tutorial, I will show you how to find the data analysis tool in Excel to calculate statistics. To find the data analysis tool, click on the Data tab in the ribbon, go over to the right, and you'll see Data Analysis there. And this will bring up a box where we can pick a few different options like descriptive statistics to do some calculations. However, if it's not there, the data analysis tool, don't worry too much. I'll now show you how to locate it. If you close the box and go up to the ribbon again and click right there, go on to the options, Excel options, go into add-ins and make sure that you have an option to add the data analysis Toolpak. And once you do that, you'll just go at the bottom and click go, and it will automatically install it for you. Now if you cancel there, once you've automatically installed it, you should go back and find it, data analysis right there. I have a set of data for 60 houses which shows their land value, the land size, the amount of bedrooms, bathrooms, the total rooms in the house, the age of the property, and whether it has a fireplace or not. Now we will use this data to use the data analysis tool so we can calculate some descriptive statistics like the mean, median, mode, range, etc. I'll show you how to calculate these variables for the property values as you saw in the data set. However, the coefficient of variation we will calculate manually. So if you follow along, we will now go through this step. If you click on the data tab there, and you'd want to click on the data analysis once you've installed that, click on descriptive statistics and then click OK, and then we have this box appearing, and the input data is the data we want to calculate, so we highlight it all and then we click labels because we have a label in the first heading, and then the output. Make sure you click in there and click on an empty cell. This is where the output of our calculation will come out, and then click the summary and then OK, and here we go. We've got an output so simple of the mean, standard deviation, median, and other calculations necessary. Now the coefficient of variation we'll calculate manually, and basically before we start a formula we need to put equals in Excel, and then the coefficient of variation is simply the standard deviation divided by the mean. So now that we have these Excel printouts, we need to express these values as you can see in this Word document I have here. It's all in thousands of dollars, which is easy to read, and that's the values we're working with. I'll now show you how to conduct a confidence interval. Now if we had a question asking us to estimate with 95% confidence the population average age of a house, this is what we'd need to do. Now we'd need to click on the data tab in the ribbon again and go to data analysis, just like we did before. Click on descriptive statistics and that box will appear again. Click OK. Now the input range, because we're dealing with the age of the properties, we're going to put that as the input range, and we're going to click and select all the property ages, and that's our input range. Then we'll click on label because we have a label in the first cell, and then the output range we want to put it in an empty cell where it's visible, so I'll just scroll back up again and put it in an empty cell, and then click on the summary option there, and then click on the confidence interval and 95%. That's what the question is asking us, so we'll keep it at that and click OK, and here is our output. So now we're interested in the mean, the population mean, and also the confidence level, which will help us get to the next step of finding out what our 95% confidence interval is. Now that we have this printout, we need to actually express our answer in a different way to completely answer the question. So as you can see here, I have the mean and the confidence interval. However, I've expressed it like this. I've put in thus 20.12, which is the mean, plus minus our confidence level, which is 2.596129, gives us the following answer, which is the population mean is between 17.86 and 22.37. Thus, we are 95% confident that the average age of a house is between 17.86 years and 22.38 years. So now I need to conduct a t-test, or a two-sample assuming equal variance as a hypothesis test. We want to find out with a 5% significance level if there is a difference between the values of properties that have a fireplace and that don't have a fireplace. Now, because this data is all scattered everywhere, we actually need to sort and organize it so that we have the fireplaces all listed together and then the ones that don't have fireplaces listed together. So as you can see, I went to data, I clicked on sort, and I'm sorting by fireplace from smallest to largest. And that has actually automatically sorted that for me. So they've grouped the houses with fireplace and the ones without fireplace together, and their appropriate values. Now what I'll do is I need to create a couple of cells, one for the houses that have a fireplace and another for the houses that don't have a fireplace, and I'll copy the values over so we can do our t-test. Now remember, this t-test is only one step of a hypothesis test. You actually need to complete the other steps manually, maybe in a Word document or by hand. So we just drag and copy and paste, and then copy and paste the values of houses that do have a fireplace. And now what we'll do from here is we will go to the data tab, which we are already in, and then we will click on the data analysis tab so we can conduct our t-test. Now we want to scroll down to the t-test, which is a two-sample assuming equal variance. That's because that's what I am doing. Your question might be a bit different. So click OK, and now it says that input the variables, the first variables, which is the houses that don't have a fireplace in my case. So I click that, and then the houses that do have a fireplace, and I input all that in. And now I put in a 0 because there is no difference between the mean. We're assuming there isn't. Now I click on labels, and the significance level is 5%. And I want it to output in this empty cell over here. So I'll click that, and then I'll click OK, and here comes my output. Now I'll just expand these columns so we can see a little better. And we're actually interested in the t-stat. As you can see, it's that 1.68, which I'll soon highlight for you, and also the t-critical two-tail 2.0017. Now we want to compare these two together so we can either accept or reject the HO. Now, because the 1.68 t-stat is below the t-critical two-tail 2.00, we cannot reject the HO. Therefore, we cannot conclude at a 5% level of significance that there is any difference between the average value of houses that have a fireplace and that don't have a fireplace. However, like I said, this is only probably step 3, 4, and 5 of conducting a hypothesis test. You still need to conduct the first step, the second step, and actually formalize this properly. This is just the Excel version of it. So my next question asks me to find out if there is a relationship between property values and the total rooms of the property. So what we need to do is a simple linear regression using the data analysis tool in Excel, and also I will create a scatter diagram to see if we have a positive relationship, and I will explain that briefly. So I want to find out whether the property values are dependent on the total rooms, which is a variable. So what I'll do again is use the data analysis tool to conduct a regression test, and hopefully we can go from there and get the answer. So once you've clicked data analysis, click on the regression option, click OK, and we're inserting the variables for the first item, which is the values of the properties, and click to get the second variable, which is the total rooms of the homes. And then we're clicking labels because we have a label in our first cell, and then we're basically going to choose an empty cell so we can have our regression analysis output basically thrown there. And here we go, I've clicked OK, and we have our regression analysis and the ANOVA as well. As you can see, we're interested in the R square, which I will highlight now, and also the intercepts, which are in the total rooms, which are the coefficients down below, highlighted now. And in addition, we're interested in the p-value. Now that we're given this data, we can assume a couple of things. We can also create a scatter diagram to further strengthen our analysis. So if you just follow along with me, I will now show you how to create a scatter diagram. So select only the values, not the actual headings. So I'll just hit Control so I can click both and keep them there. And then we're going up to Insert, Diagrams, and then a Scatter Diagram. Now you can see the scatter diagram has been created automatically for us. As you can see, the property values down below and the total rooms going up the chart, and we can see these scattered in the middle. And if you look across, as the property amounts increase, so do the property values. And we can actually draw a straight line in the center of these dots, and this would give us a pretty straight line, which means that there is a fairly close relationship between the property values and total rooms. Now the R square indicates say 73.8%, which is basically telling us that there is a 73.8% variation between the values and the total rooms. So we could be about 73 or 74% confident that there is a positive relationship between these two aspects of property values and total rooms. Now, this is just an Excel printout. However, if you were conducting a hypothesis test, you'd actually need to complete the other steps in order. However, you could use the p-value, which is in this printout, to accept or reject the hypothesis. So in this case, we have concluded at a 5% significance that a positive linear relationship existed based on this p-value. And I hope you have enjoyed these videos. I am just, if you can see, I'm just inserting a concluding statement regarding the scatter diagram. And shortly we will actually go through a little quiz just to see how you've done till now. Thank you.